Welcome back to LarryB YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful structured detail that we see here. You can see how it is standing on its own and how beautiful it is looking. It's a very simple tutorial. I'm going to be taking you through how to cut and sew this. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. To do this, I'm going to be working with my fabric and a crinoline mesh. Okay, this crinoline mesh is stiff, it's different from corset mesh, it's stiffer than corset mesh, and it just gives your outfit structure. So that is what I'm going to be using to give this fabric structure. So after that, you're going to need to measure out the fabric you will need. To know the amount of fabric you're going to need, you can measure around the space where you are going to be placing this design. All you just need to do is to take your tape rule around that area, and we are going to be pleating it. So once you have your measurements, you're going to multiply that by 2 so that you can introduce volume by pleating. So let's say after measuring round you have maybe 45 inches, you can multiply 45 inches by 2 or 1.5 if you don't have so much fabric, but you need to add more fabric to it because we are going to be taking small pleats around to have this bouncy effect. So if your fabric is rumpled like this, you need to iron it first, because once you sew it, you don't want to iron again so that you're not going to flatten it out. You need it to be bouncing. So for me, the measurement that I'm working with is just the length of my fabric. Remember, this is just a tutorial. I think the length of this fabric is about 60 inches. So that is what I'm working with. No, it's more than 60 inches. This is about 70 inches or thereabouts. So that is what I'm working with. And then the width, the highest width that I'm working with on fold is 7.5. You can see, and this is on fold, so it means when you open it up, you're going to have 15 inches. So what you just need to do is to shape it. You know that from the center back it is big, it is long like this, then as it goes towards the center front, it becomes tapered. It means it's going to be smaller. So if you are running a zipper at the center back, if you're going to be placing this and there's a zipper that's going to be going through it, it means you are going to be slashing it into 2 at the center back. So you are going to be having 2 different designs. Okay, if there is no zipper or you are making it detachable, you can just have it on one single fabric. I hope you get that. For me, I'm going to be having mine on one single fabric. So to shape it, I'm simply going to place this into 2 on fold like this. I'm just placing it in such a way that this part, this folded part, is going to be my center back, and then this is going to be my front, the center front. So the center back is the longest, while the center front is the one that is kind of shorter. So you need to determine how short you want it to be. I'm going to be measuring this from the fold point, and for me the shortest part, I think around 3 inches is fine for me. So I'm going to mark 3 inches here. So to connect it, you can just mark what you have and then divide that into 2. So once you divide that, you can use your free hand or a curve, and then you connect from this part to that point where you have divided, just like that. So after doing that, now I'm going to grab my scissors. My fabric is not aligning well, so I want to make sure that they are all on the same line. That's why I'm cutting from there. So now you're going to cut into the markings that you have done. Okay, and you can see now that I have shaped this. So this is what I have now. The next thing is to bring my crinoline mesh, and then I'm going to be placing it and cutting out this same shape that I have. Okay, so you're going to be placing your crinoline like this, and then you cut out this shape that you have. So I'll put it on fold as well, and then place this fabric on it to cut it out. So I've placed this now, and then I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. So the length of my crinoline is not as long as my fabric, so you can just join to it, or if you have more crinoline, you're going to be cutting on the yard side. Okay, you're not going to cut it on the length like I am doing. This crinoline mesh is just about 1 yard, so I cannot cut on the side of the yard. and it's just by 60. So you can see that I have some parts here that is not, that the crinoline is not getting to, so you can actually join it, but because this is a tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, but please, when you're doing yours, make sure that you have enough. So once I have enough like this, I'm going to notch the middle, especially because it's not going to get to the end point, so that I will know where I'm going to sew it to. I'm going to notch the middle of the fabric as well. Then I'm going to lay it and simply just put my crinoline inside and sew. So what the crinoline is just going to do is to enhance it. It's going to make it bouncy and stand. It's going to make it to have structure. That's the work of the crinoline mesh. So I'm going to be placing it like this all together, and then I'm going to be putting this on fold, take it to the sewing machine, and then run a stitch like this. I'm going to be running a stitch, and then I'll leave a space, small space, to pass everything out. I hope you understand that. I'm taking my fabric and my crinoline, you can see they are cut in the same way, and then I'm going to be placing the fabric on fold like this, right side facing right side, so that I can turn it out neatly. So I'm going to take the fabric together with the crinoline and go ahead and run a stitch on my sewing machine, then you leave a space to turn out. I'm gonna head to sew it, and this is what I have. So I just left small space here to turn it, so I'm just going to dip my hand and bring it out. Okay, so you can see where it stops. So for yours, you can join to it so that you can have it complete, but since it's not so long, I just left it like that. So I'm going to be sewing on two sides, and then I'm going to turn it on the two sides, and then I'm going to cover this part. So you can just hold it at top stitch or use your hemming gum, but hemming gum may not hold it well because of the stiffness of the crinoline. So you can just go ahead and try to top stitch on it, or just use your needle and thread. So I'm bringing it out now. I'm going to bring everything out and then close this part up. I've gone ahead to close it, then I decided to top stitch on it because it was kind of puffy. So you can also iron it by just top stitch on that part round. So this is what it looks like. If you want this part to be flat as well, you can go ahead and iron it, but I just want mine to be bouncy like this. So now what you just need to do is to go ahead and pleat it where you want to pleat it. So I'm going to advise that you do this on your mannequin so that you can see how it's coming out. But if you want to do it directly on your flat pattern as well, it is okay. So I'll take mine to the mannequin and I'm going to pleat it around the area that I want to pleat it on, and then I'm going to see what I'm going to have. So like I said, if a zipper is running through yours, what it means is that we're going to open it up here. You're going to divide it into two so that you'll be able to pleat it separately, and then there'll be a chance for your zipper or whatever you want to have at your center back to be there. I've gone ahead to plait it, you can see. So the reason why I said it's better to plait it on the mannequin, that gives you the opportunity to plait it anyhow you want. So you can just change it. Once you have something you are happy with, you go ahead and tack it where you plait. So you just pass your needle and thread and then tack at those points where you have your pins. So like I was explaining for the back, if you have a zipper running through it, you can see that this is completely closed. You will need to open it at the back so that you can work with your zipper or buttons or whatever it is. And if you're just placing it over, you can just make it close up like this. So my fabric is very small. You can see I just use the length of my fabric, and this area is clearly more than what I need. So if you're working with yours, just measure the area that you are going to be placing this on, and then you can multiply that by 2 or 3 so that you'll be able to add all of these pleats that you have. So what the crinoline mesh does is that it's just going to make it stand like this. You can see it's going to stand anyhow you want it to stand because it is stiff. So I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.